Time once again to expand your mind. Here are 50 amazing facts to blow your mind. There was a math question on the 1982 SATs that every single test taker got wrong. The question was so paradoxical that the creators were confused and didn't include the actual answer as part of the selection. All 300,000 exams had to be rescored. Madonna turned down a role in The Matrix, one of the biggest regrets of her career. Despite speculation and assumptions that he's a homosexual, Richard Simmons has never actually publicly addressed his sexuality. In Bhutan, people do not recognize and many do not know their individual birthdays. Everyone in the country turns another year older together on January 1st. I don't know how I feel about that. I do like celebrating my own birthday, you know? In 1994, a man in Oklahoma was sentenced to 2,200 years in jail. He appealed for a pretrial and was given an additional 9,000 years upon his reconviction. Heat kills more people than hurricanes, tornadoes, and floods combined. Cars must have at least 3/4 of a tank in order to leave Singapore in order to stop them from buying cheaper gas in Malaysia and circumventing Singapore's gas tax. The reason that Mr. Rogers would tell his viewers that he was feeding his fish despite visibly doing so each episode was because he got a letter from a 5-year-old blind girl who was concerned that he wasn't feeding them, so he started audibly telling people that he was doing so. In 2022, Crypto.com accidentally refunded a customer over $10 million. They accidentally entered the account number as the refund amount. It took 7 months for them to notice. The recipient was arrested and spent over 200 days in custody. Between 2008 and 2010, the Iraqi government were scammed into spending over $40 million on fake bomb detectors, the ADE-651. Kentucky bluegrass is a non-native species that was introduced by the Spanish Empire from Europe. The Chinese Communist Party under Mao banned bodybuilding in 1953, calling it an unproductive and narcissistic pursuit of beauty. The ban was lifted 30 years later. Nunavut is the only province or territory in Canada without a single Walmart store. A 2017 study found that only 73 attacks by wild polar bears on humans occurred between 1870 to 2014, which resulted in 20 human deaths and 63 human injuries. 3.6% of all current cancer cases worldwide are attributable to drinking alcohol. There is currently research into genetically engineering humans for space and living on other planets. One method is epigenome engineering and would target genes advantageous for space. Another method is to combine the DNA of other species, i.e. tardigrades, with human cells to make humans better fit for space. The movie character Raymond from the Academy Award-winning movie Rain Man was based on a real-life savant, Kim Peek. He could simultaneously read the left side and right side pages of a book at the same time and had complete memory of over 12,000 books. The Aztecs had 18 festivities each year, 17 of which included human sacrifices. Apart from extraction of the heart, they used a variety of other methods: drowning, starvation, decapitation, burning, bludgeoning, throwing from heights, forced gladiatorial combat, and shooting with arrows. Between 2012 and 2016, at least 147 visitors drowned in Hawaii, nearly one a week on average, while doing common tourist activities like swimming and snorkeling. Rick James had a brief relationship with Linda Blair, the star of The Exorcist. When she terminated a pregnancy without informing him, it deeply affected him, inspiring him to record the song Cold Blooded, all about her. A 2022 survey of 3,000 adults and children found that just 27% of children ages 6 to 16 said that they regularly play outside their home, whereas 71% of the baby boomer generation said that they did so when they were children. Until the 1950s, France served alcohol with children's school lunches. Hello, little Timmy, you want a glass of vino, eh? Big Ben has a prison room. Last time it was used was in 1880 when a newly elected atheist member of parliament refused to swear an oath to the Queen. Homicide clearance rates in the US declined from a peak of 93% in 1962 to 64% in 1994. The rate then plateaued with some variation for the next 25 years, and there's currently no satisfactory explanation for either the initial decline or why it ended the way it did. The Sam Key building, recognized by Guinness World Records as the world's narrowest commercial building, was built after its owner bet a business associate that he could make use of the 6-foot or 1.5 meter wide strip of land that he had left over after the city took 79% of his land without compensating him. Rip, a stray dog adopted by the Air Raid Patrol in World War II, saved over 100 people despite having no training. He earned the Dickin Medal and inspired the training of search and rescue dogs. They had to call it the Dickin Medal? That is unfortunate. Michael was the most frequently given male name every year between 1954 and 1998, except for 1960, which was David, and it fell out of the top 5 in 2011 for the first time since 1949. Microsoft skipped version 13 of Microsoft Office due to concerns of triskaidekaphobia, the fear of number 13. 17 million telegrams are still sent every year. By comparison, over 200 billion emails are sent every day. They're most commonly sent to meet certain legal requirements or to express congratulations or condolences. That makes sense. You don't want to send an email and be like, sorry your dad died. Most people can see their own white blood cells moving through their retinas. Silphium is an unidentified extinct plant, the exact identity is unclear and highly debated, that was used as a contraceptive by the ancient Greeks and Romans. The plant was also used as a seasoning, medicine, perfume, and aphrodisiac. The U.S. National Solar Observatory requires a swimming pool's worth of ice to be added to its tanks every night so coolant can be distributed throughout the observatory. The heat is intense enough to rapidly melt metal at the telescope mirror's focal point. A young Thomas Edison helped another inventor, Samuel Laws, design telegraph machines. He expected to be paid a few $100s, but Laws instead gave $40,000, which allowed Edison to afford a new research laboratory and factory. There, he amassed 300 employees and developed 50 inventions. Human beings are the most sensitive to castor oil seeds. It takes 1 to kill a full-grown human, 11 to kill a dog, and a massive dose of 80 to kill a duck. The seeds contain ricin, which is roughly 6,000 times more poisonous than cyanide. Ford Model T production reached almost 10,000 cars a day in 1925 and is generally regarded as the first mass affordable automobile, which made car travel available to middle-class Americans. The common plastic garden chair is called a monoblock chair and was once banned in Switzerland for polluting the cityscape. Metallica released a video in 2012 appealing to help solve the 2009 killing of a 20-year-old fan, Morgan Harrington, who disappeared after their show. They offered $50,000 on top of the $100,000 by police. Spain currently has a lower fertility rate than Japan. In 2020, Cambridge University Library announced that 2 notebooks written by Charles Darwin, worth many millions of pounds, had been missing for 20 years and had likely been stolen. One of the notebooks contains Darwin's famous Tree of Life sketch that explores the relationship between species. Only larger ships in the US Navy have a captain. Smaller frigates, etc. have commanders. In 2013, research was conducted on Capri's sun that filtered it through a vacuum to see what would be left behind to grow on the filter paper. Researchers identified 5 species of fungus, notating that because they don't put preservatives in the drink, it allows lots of fungi to survive. I'm a fun guy. I'm so sorry. There was a deadlier maritime disaster than the Titanic, the Sultana. Carrying 6 times the passengers that it was allotted, the Sultana sank on the Mississippi River, killing over 1,100 Union soldiers. The tragedy did not receive much attention as it was days after the assassination of Lincoln. Sewage treatment plants are not currently designed to remove pharmaceutical drugs from the water. It's been shown that estrogen and other chemicals behave and have a feminizing effect on male fish and other aquatic life. Nutrition labeling on food was not required until 1994 in the US and was considered controversial at the time. There's something called the National Diaper Bank, which coordinates and facilitates donations of diapers to families in need. 1 in 2 US families cannot afford enough diapers to keep their infant or child clean, dry, and healthy. In 1989, a man bought a painting for $4 at a flea market, mostly because he liked the frame. He discovered a document behind designed the canvas. It was an official copy of the first printing of the Declaration of Independence. Only 23 were known to exist. He sold it at auction for $2.42 million in 1991. The Romans had fast food. In the ancient Greco-Roman world, the Thermopolium was a cook shop and commercial establishment where it was possible to purchase ready-to-eat food. US troops using flashcard apps to study accidentally revealed classified information about nuclear weapons in Europe, such as vault locations, surveillance camera positions, signs and countersigns, and duress words. Atalanta was a heroine from Greek mythology who offered to marry any suitor who could outrun her in a race, but could defeat any man in a race until Hippomenes got some help from Aphrodite to beat her in that race. Egyptian builders such as those of the pyramids were not usually slaves and frequently took sick days from work. Popular excuses included stung by scorpion, bleeding wife, trouble with eye, and even brewing beer. But thank you guys for watching. Remember to like this video and leave a comment for the algorithm so that you see the next video, and be sure to follow me on Twitch. I'm live pretty much every day. The link is in the description. I'll see you guys next video. Bye.